HarperCollins presents Rejection, Fiction by Tulathimutte, read by Micky Shiloah, Allyson Ryan, Quincy Surasmith, Dan Bittner, André Santana, Marcha, Eunice Wong, and Madeleine Maby.
To Jenny, Alice, and Anthony. But dearer are those who reject us as unworthy, for they add another life. They build a heaven before us, whereof we had not dreamed, and thereby supply to us new powers out of the recesses of the spirit, and urge us to new and unattempted performances. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
The Feminist. If you ask him where he went to high school, he likes to boast that actually he went to an all-girls school, which is sort of true. He was one of 5 males at a progressive private school that had gone co-ed just before he'd enrolled. People always reply, "Ooh la la, lucky guy, you must have had your pick," which irritates him because it implies that women would only date him if they had few other options, and also because he hadn't dated anyone in high school. In junior year, a freshman girl had a crush on him, but he wasn't attracted to her curvaceous body type, so he felt justified in rejecting her, as he'd been rejected many times himself. Still, the school ingrained in him, if not feminist values per se, the value of feminist values. It had been cool, or at least normal, to identify as asexual, and though he didn't, he figured it was a better label than virgin. His friends, mostly female, told him he was refreshingly attentive and trustworthy for a boy. Meanwhile, he was grateful to learn that female is best used as an adjective, that sexism harms men too, though obviously nowhere near the extent it harms women, and that certain men pretend to be feminists just to get laid. When he graduated, he felt slightly sheepish about never having even kissed anyone. Everyone knew, though, that real dating started in college, where nobody would be aware of his track record. But in college, he encounters the alien system of codes and manners that govern flirting, conveyed in subtextual cues no more perceptible to him than ultraviolet radiation. Learning in high school about body positivity and gender norms and the cultural construction of beauty had led him to believe that adults aren't obsessed with looks. This turns out to be untrue, even among his new female friends who complain about how shallow men are. Now that he's self-conscious, he realizes he can't compete along conventional standards of height, weight, grip strength, whatever. How can he hope to attract anyone with his narrow shoulders? The women he tries to date offer him friendship instead. So, once again, most of his friends are women. This is fine. It's their prerogative, and anyway, lots of relationships begin platonically, especially for guys with narrow shoulders. But soon, a pattern emerges. The first time, as he is leaving his friend's dorm room, he surprises himself by saying, "Hey, this might be super random, and she can totally say no, but he's attracted to her. So did she want to go on a date sometime?" In a casual and normal voice. And she says, "Oh," and filibusters. She had no idea he felt that way. And she doesn't want to risk spoiling the good thing they have by making it a thing. She thinks it'll be best if they just stay. And he rushes to assure her that it's valid. No, totally valid. He knows friendship isn't a downgrade. Sorry for being weird. Ugh. Right? She replies. Dating's so overrated and meaningless in college anyway. And she knows that he knows he'll find someone who deserves him. Because he's great. Really great. So thoughtful, so smart. Not like these SAE sideways hat-wearing dude bros. Of course, he must already know that. And she really appreciates it. Then he thanks her for being honest, because it proves she respects him, and don't worry about him, he gets it. He does get it. It sort of kills him, but he knows his rejector was only trying to spare his feelings, since men often react badly to hard rejection. So he validates her condolences and communicates them back until she's convinced he'll be fine. "Grr, friend-zoned again," he says, shaking his fist toward the ceiling, and they
Sample complete. Ready to continue?